It's not showing up on YouTube. Only vertical? Maybe we should just work with only vertical. I really don't want to do that. Well, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever if the horizontal live stream is working. I can't see that it is. Let's see. Go horizontal and vertical at once is tricky. Okay. What we're gonna do... Oh, I forgot we're supposed to open shorts. I had shorts I had done earlier. You know, they might be buried. Okay, we left off on number 2. I got really sleepy. And I just needed to sleep. So that's what I did. Wait, where did it go? Where did it go, George? Where did it go? There we go. Let's slide this over. Okay. Perfect. Wait. Not perfect. Getting closer. Okay. Perfect. Somewhat perfect. Oh, it is only a vertical output. Is it worth trying to set it up again? Probably not. But maybe. Alright, let's just not worry about this. No. It's not. Annoying. YouTube. Here we go. Oh, wait. We might have some retakes. I apologize in advance. That's how filming actually goes. Can lessons heal divides? Picture 700,000 Scottish students learning not just equations and essays, but empathy itself. Their green-supported curriculum embeds climate literacy in every subject, making environmental understanding as basic as reading and math. Eco-awareness rose 35% in 1 year. That's not just policy, that's planetary therapy. When youth learns that the air they breathe connects to the forests of the Congo and the reefs of Fiji, the illusion of borders begins to fade. Lessons heal divides when we study interdependence, when geography teaches compassion, when literature tells the story of ecosystems. The Green Party's courage here is in transforming curriculum from ideology to ecology. Politics giving way to planetary citizenship in every classroom. Students plant seeds, chart carbon footprints, calculate sustainable harvests. Education becomes an act of garden. Bring climate studies into your home. Mentor environmental projects. And vote green for interschool waiting to be read. Okay. Lessons heal divides. Picture 700,000 Scottish students. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Where did I get that from? I do not know. Clearly, it's an excellent audio. Okay, and check. We're going to set the title. Making shorts takes longer than you think. You should definitely get started making shorts on your channel. You can write your shorts using AI. You could write them yourself. You could riff, but you probably won't get anywhere. But you might. Maybe you're a brilliant entertainer. That really helps activism. We need you. Be a peace activist in addition to a brilliant entertainer, would you? Okay, it's slow. It's slow. I kind of feel like we should... have something else to say while we're waiting for it to process. Maybe we should have 2 windows open. Oh, look, we do. Oops. Okay. Q and Q&A show. And then we're going to give it a cute little emoji. Can lessons heal divides? That is the question. That makes me mad. Should I say retake? We're gonna do a retake. No? Yes. Yes. Switch account. Alright. Let's do take 2. Three minutes. Here we go. No, let's do this. Can lessons heal divides? Picture 700,000 Scottish students learning not just equations and essays, but empathy itself. Their green-supported curriculum embeds climate literacy in every subject, making environmental understanding as put on a happy face. Can lessons heal divides? Picture 700,000 Scottish students learning not just equations and essays, but empathy itself. Their green-supported curriculum embeds climate literacy in every subject, making environmental understanding as basic as reading and math. Eco-awareness rose 35% in 1 year. That's not just policy, that's planetary therapy. When youth learn that the air they breathe connects to the forests of Congo and the reefs of Fiji, the illusion of borders begins to fade. Lessons heal divides when we study interdependence, when geography teaches compassion, when literature tells the story of ecosystems. The Green Party's courage here is in transforming curriculum from ideology to ecology, politics giving way to planetary citizenship. In every classroom, students plant seeds, chart carbon footprints, calculate sustainable harvests. Education becomes an act of restoration. Be the next teacher of that courage. Start a community garden. Bring climate studies into your home. Mentor environmental projects. And vote green for interschool solidarity. The earth is the... Let's see here. Okay. We do want that. Oh, that's right. It was over here. Let's play it, shall we?
Understood. You want an opening essay, a fiery, shareable introduction that explains the purpose of the project without pretending neutrality, written as the start of your YouTube and Substack series, Policy Explainer. Here's that riff-style essay to open the series. The two-party illusion. Why we're breaking the spell, you can fit versus right, fear versus fear, and every stop, the costs keep climbing, the planet keeps choking, and communities keep breaking. The faces on the screens change, the donors stay the same. We were raised to think democracy meant choosing between the Democrat and the Republican. But that isn't choice, it's maintenance of an empire that feeds on division. Sign the same military budgets, approve the same surveillance powers, and let the same billionaires shape our laws. It's a duopoly, and it's bleeding the Republic dry. This project, what you're hearing, reading, watching right now, is the political imagination. We're not trading one master for another, we're stepping outside the cage. When we say leave both parties, it isn't nihilism. It's gardens instead of campaign ads, restorative justice instead of mass incarceration, clean water instead of corporate subsidies. The Green Party represents one doorway, but it's also... This will anger some people, that's fine. Anger can be fertilizer if it grows truth. The point isn't to shame, it's to liberate. We are all capable of more than voting for the lesser harm. We can choose peace, we can choose care, we can choose each other. So, because the only way out of this endless loop is through honesty, and honesty starts here. Would you like me to expand this?
Yes. Ooh, this looks good. Let's see what it says.
Alright, below is the long-form Substack version, written as your opening manifesto for the series you'll share on YouTube and elsewhere. It stays conversational enough to read aloud, but is structured so readers can follow it as a complete essay. 24,000 characters, 3,800 words. By two colours, every algorithmic feed reduces an entire civilization into two warring logos. The duopoly thrives on friction, because friction keeps us too distracted to notice who is actually steering the machine. We were taught that democracy means choosing between these two brands. But what we've really been doing is renewing the license of the same empire again and again. One faction wraps exploitation in the language of freedom, the other wraps it in the language of compassion, and both quietly sign the same bills that fund wars, deregulate the wealthy, and strip the commons bare. The faces change. The story starts long before television. After the Civil War, as industrialists consolidated wealth, party machines consolidated voters, patronage became religion. You didn't just support a candidate, you inherited a tribe. By the 20th century, the twin parties had built identical infrastructures of loyalty, consultants, lobbyists, think tanks, corporate media partners. The competition between them was never meant to end, it was meant to perpetuate itself, like two wrestlers performing for an audience that forgot the match was scripted. Each time citizens grew restless, the duopoly rebranded. The Great Society became the compassionate conservatism, became the Build Back Better. Healthcare system that treats survival as a subscription service. The parties alternate in power, but they never interrupt the machinery of extraction. 2. The cost of the illusion. While we argue about mascots, the same bipartisan hand signs, the checks that kill. Every bomb dropped, every family. The duopoly is not just political theatre, it's a business model that converts human pain into profit margins. Consider healthcare. Legislators on both sides campaign donations from the very insurers and pharmaceutical conglomerates that profit from our illness. They don't want a solution, they want a talking point or war. The votes to authorise invasion after invasion, sanctions after sanctions, drone strike after drone strike have rarely fallen along party lines, they've fallen along lobby lines. The merchants of death have 2 headquarters, one blue, one red, and both holds a press conference about climate change that are literally burning the planet. The slogans change. The carbon parts per million do not. 3. Why leaving both matters? When you leave one party for the other, you remain inside the house that's burning. You may switch rooms, but the structure stays the same. The point isn't to move furniture, it's to step outside and start building something livable. Leaving both parties is not apathy, it's agency. It's refusing to spend another election cycle choosing between extinction at 80 miles per hour or extinction at 85 from the soil up. Some will say it is the same side. The 2 parties are the left and right boots of the same marching army, stomping across the same world, refusing to political energy go when it breaks free from the 2-party magnet. It goes to the Green Party, not as a perfect institution, but as an open door. The Green Platform insists on what the duopoly cannot: peace over profit, ecological sanity over extraction, human rights over corporate rights. Supporting it is not about the old order. Every party does something else too. Individualist, interfaith, indigenous, scientific can breathe. True democracy is biodiversity. The goal isn't one new king, it's a living forest. Real peace activism doesn't demand that you recruit 24 hours a day. It asks that you weave peace into whatever hours you have. Talk to neighbours. Volunteer cooperation instead of competition is activism. Every moment spent healing instead of scrolling outrage is activism. If millions of people any law ever written. VI, the emotional breakup. Leaving your political tribe feels like heartbreak. It is heartbreak. You remember belonging. But love for truth must outweigh nostalgia for branding. The moment you step back, you see how your compassion was harvested for donations, how your fear was monetized, how your moral energy was spent maintaining someone else's career ladder. Grieve it, then breathe again. But the day you stop defending your abuser is the day you start healing. What comes next? The next phase of the American experiment must look less like activists and healers again. Participants, not circles. The Green Movement begins with empathy instead of armament, where healthcare is preventive instead of punitive, where education is a shared curiosity rather than a debt trap, where infrastructure is regenerative rather than extractive. None of that requires permission from the duopoly. It requires imagination, organisation and relentless gratitude for the chance to choose. The essays, the shorts, the captions, the conversations is meant as an ongoing workshop in courage. It will upset some people because telling the truth about power always does. That's fine. Discomfort is the doorway to growth. We will explore one bipartisan failure at a time: war profiteering, economic capture, surveillance, censorship, healthcare, housing, the environment, education, justice, and the myth of design. Specific actions, local and global, that move us toward peace. We'll celebrate activists to tell inconvenient truths. We'll talk about how to gather signatures, how to run for office without selling your soul, how to build movements that outlive individual elections. And we'll keep reminding each other that politics is not a spectator sport. It's the collective choreography of our conscience. IX, the invitation. If you're tired of voting for the lesser harm, if you felt the emptiness of celebrating symbolic victories while your rent climbs and your planet burns, welcome. You are not alone. You are part of the majority who senses that something deeper than policy is broken, that our civic imagination itself has been colonized by marketing. Leaving the 2-party system doesn't make you radical, it makes you rational. It means you've stopped confusing a ballot with a bandage. It means you've remembered that democracy was never meant to be a spectator sport. The republic can still be reclaimed.
Oops. Uh-oh. We messed it up. Alright, let's just... Well, that feels incomplete. Wait. Okay. Everything would be easier with all the tools already in place. But we're not there yet. How does green courage free minds? Germany's dual education system Why is this on? Shit. Shoot. That is not what I meant to do. Okay. How does green courage free minds? Germany's dual education... We cannot have the beginning messed up. If the beginning of your story is messed up, you just start again. How does green courage free minds? Germany's dual education in real workplaces. 50% of youth participate and national employment thrives. Courage here means valuing a skill. Greens everywhere champion this balance. Mechanics learn alongside mathematicians. Both design. Green Party calls that integration academic, and some is menial. There is no... Ugh. This is just so much platitude. Grounding language. I was saying things that don't make any sense. Like, you just say weird platitudes, AI. Your weird platitudes are just weird. Like, why the weird declarative statements? No, I said the shorts. You didn't even listen. Oh my god, I miss my ring light. Useful tripod ever. Gosh, I just keep feeling like we've done this already, but maybe we've just read this fact already. I'm not really sure. does green courage free minds? Germany's dual education system gives every teenager a second classroom. The workplace. About half of all students split their time between academic study and paid apprenticeships. The system involves over 430,000 partner companies, from renewable energy firms to precision. Because students graduate with skills and experience. How does green courage free minds? Germany's dual education system gives every teenager a second classroom. The workplace. About half of all students split their time between academic study and paid apprenticeships. The system involves over 430,000 partner companies, from renewable. I'm getting frustrated. I'm going to work on this